بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أسعد الخلق وخاتم الرسل محمد صلى الله عليه وآله ورضي الله عن المهاجرين والأنصار ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين ثم أما بعد. Surah An-Nisa, or the chapter that is called Women, has actually a very interesting dialogue between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the shaitan. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us the outline of this dialogue so that we understand the tricks of the shaitan and we put the shaitan in the right place in our perception and our worldview. The shaitan is dangerous and the shaitan has plans, very complex plans sometimes, in order to cause mischief and to give us ideas that are very evil ideas. The shaitan is not simple as some people in the popular culture imagine him. And, you cover your mouth when you do yawning, or you say Bismillah when you eat. Yes, these things are important and they're mentioned in the hadith. But if you look at the Quran, you will find that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is warning us from major evil from the shaitan. What did the shaitan say to Allah when he told him that you have a time until Yawm al-Qiyamah, until the afterlife, to test the children of Adam? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is testing us by letting the shaitan giving us idea to see whether we succeed and pass the test by rejecting these evil ideas from the shaitan, or we are going to follow the shaitan and therefore follow him all the way to hellfire. Wal-'iyadhu billah. He said, وَلَأُضِلَّنَّهُمْ, I will take them astray from your path. When you are on the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, don't you think that you are secure from the shaitan, because the shaitan has a mandate to take you away from the straight path. So when you're on the straight path, be more careful from the shaitan, because the shaitan might give you ideas. وَلَأُمَنِّيَنَّهُ, al-umniya is a hope, a false hope. I will make them follow false hopes. And so many false hopes that we have sometimes. And we think that we are going to live forever. That is a false hope. And we think that there is no tests in this world. That is a false hope. Or we think that my wealth will protect me from the destiny that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created, or from things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to test me with. But the wealth does not protect, and the children might not protect, and the family and the authority. Some people think that an authority will remain forever. This is a false hope. This is one of those, the umniya of the shaitan, a hope, but is a false hope from the shaitan. وَلَأُضِلَّنَّهُمْ وَلَأُمَنِّيَنَّهُمْ, I'll take them astray, away from your straight path, and I will make them follow false hope. وَلَآمُرَنَّهُمْ فَلَيُبَتِّكُنَّ آذَانَ الْأَنْعَامِ, I will order them to cut the ears of the animals. This is not just an old custom that the Arabs used to do. Yes, they used to cut the ear of some animals when they take them for sacrifice. And this is first and foremost hurting the animal. And the animals have rights in Islam. They are nations like us. We are not supposed to harm them in any way, let alone cutting their ear or cutting their nose, or making, marks with fire on their skin. This is not allowed in Islam. This is haram, to brand an animal with fire in a way that hurts the animal, and so on. This is all haram. Why? Because the way we treat the animals is indicative of the way we treat the world, the environment, including the humans. People who are cruel to animals are committing a crime in Islam, but also are able to be cruel to the humans, especially if you are cruel to the animals in way of ritual and sacrifice and these myths of the past. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is warning us here that there is no sacrifice for the animal, to hurt the animal. And yes, we are allowed to eat some of the animals, only a particular brand that is called Al-An'am. We're not allowed to eat everything. We are not allowed to kill anything. Even an ant or a bee or a bird, we're not allowed, unless we are killing what we are supposed to eat. and slaughtering them in the right way. They're not supposed to look at the other animals so that they don't get tortured twice, and they are not supposed to be malfed, malnutrition, or tortured in any way. So he is telling Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that one of the ways he's going to drive people away from the straight path is to make them mistreat animals and hurt animals and cut their ears or their nose for certain myths and certain illusions that people follow. And then next, he told Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala something that is very telling and that is very important to take care of in our time. He said, وَلَأَمُرَنَّهُمْ فَلَيُغَيِّرُنَّ خَلْقَ اللَّهِ. I will ask them to change the creation of Allah. Changing the creation of Allah, if you look at the old books, people say that to put, fake hair or to remove some of the hair on your face for women or for men. And this is not really how the ayah goes. And these things are matter of different opinions among scholars. They are not really haram in any moral sense or any definite sense. Many scholars said that removing this hair and so on should not be in a way that changes the creation of Allah. Like you remove your hair totally, your eyebrows totally, in a way that is ugly or that is resembling of the monks or things of that sort, but not just to remove your hair or have a certain style. There is nothing about style in Islam, and there is nothing about really women removing hair from their face. This is not what the ayah means. What the ayah means is to change the creation of Allah. One, to change your gender. This is removing of the fitra, the original creation, the innate nature of the humans, and it's changing the creation of Allah. And it is a sin for a male who is a male to change himself into a female, or for a female to change herself into a male and do some operations and take hormone. This is not allowed in Islam, because in Islam we are created in two kinds, male and female. It is true that there is a very small and very rare case of people created in a mixed way, and then they go through an operation to remove certain organs or to correct a certain creation that is given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as a test. But these are very rare cases of people with, double organs or these kinds. This is not what the ayah is talking about. And this is not what is haram in Islam. What is haram in Islam is for people who are males and females, which is 99.999% of humanity, to change who they are following some illusion or some trauma or some psychological issue or some whim that they have, old or young. This is haram and is something that Islam forbade. Other faiths and systems of governance and law, legal systems might allow it, but morality is different from law. Morality is what you are not supposed to do as a Muslim. You can drink, legally speaking, but you're not allowed to drink in Islam. You can commit adultery, legally speaking, but you're not allowed to do adultery in Islam. You can lie, legally speaking. Nobody will put you in prison if you lie, a normal social lie, but it's haram in Islam. In that sense, it is haram for people to change and also people to change their faces or to change their bodies. It is haram. Cosmetic surgery is originally haram, but people do it when there is something that is totally out of norm. People, Allah forbid, have like 6 fingers and remove one. People have a nose that is abnormally very, very long or very, very big in a way that really causes them hardship. But not just to have a European nose if you're an African person, or to change your color from black to white or white to black, or to change the color of your eyes, or to change your features that Allah made. What is allowed is when the feature is really hurting you and causing psychological issues or physical issues. But if it is not, it is haram to change the creation of Allah. Allah gave you a colored skin, be proud of it. Allah gave you white skin, be proud of it. Allah gave you short or long hair. Allah gave you a certain length or that. You should be proud of that, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala creates us in the most excellent and most beautiful way, and we should accept the creation of Allah. Also, genetic engineering people, we want males and not females. We want someone who is white and not black. We want someone who's tall and not short. This is also part of the change of the creation of Allah and part of what the fuqaha of our time say it is haram. So we should watch for these shaitanic kind of ideas to change the creation of Allah, and we should cherish and keep the creation of Allah as it is and use it for the sake of good things in this world. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guidance and forgiveness, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give victory to the oppressed. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.